Chef Elliot Cusher has traveled around the world, and now he's back home here in Charleston as the executive chef at Indaco Restaurant in downtown Charleston. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with the chef one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, Chef Cusher, it is so good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I appreciate this. So here we sit in Indaco. You're the executive chef here. What does that mean to you, Indaco?
Indaco to me means rustic, easily identifiable Italian food, approachable for the guests, but we're still having fun with the food and playing around a little bit.
Yes, indeed. And as we sit here on King Street, there's so much going on. There's a lot of new restaurants really moving up in this neck of the woods. Talk to me about the future of the Charleston restaurant scene in your mind.
It's a very tight-knit community. I grew up here, so I've been cooking here for most of my life. And it's exciting to see new places popping up and new people coming into town and do well. But it's a large group of people that have known each other for a really long time, and I feel like have a good esprit de corps with each other. So it's a fun place to be.
Yeah, and you talk about people knowing each other and this being a tight-knit community. Talk to me about Ben's Friends.
So Ben's Friends is an outreach program that we started with Mickey Baskin and Steve Palmer, reaching out to people with substance abuse issues and dealing with stressful life and food and beverage, essentially. I've got 3.5 years of sobriety under my belt. And it's great to be able to pull other people in and show them that it's possible to work food and beverage and stay sober and live healthily.
Yeah, and I know you and Sean Brock have a story to share as well. So.
Yeah, I got sober in New Orleans. I just got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore, and I decided that it was okay for me to like myself, and I haven't looked back since. It's not the easiest thing I've ever done, but it's certainly the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. So I really like meeting new people who are going through the same things that I went through at one point and being able to help them. It's a good thing, and it feels great to do it.
Yeah. And I was just talking to you off camera about your article in Charleston Magazine, which really coincides with the upcoming Valentine's Day week here.
Yeah. We did a little dinner for two, ricotta nudie.
Yeah.
It's super simple to make. It's delicious, and it's still light. So it was a great article. Really enjoyed doing that.
And when you walk around town, I can actually see the fly here, the banner that is seaweed's coming up soon.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's I love the rhythm of the season here, and spring's right around the corner, and we really start gearing back up, and then get really excited about produce this time of year. Tons of people in town. It's just a good time, and kind of kicks our year off as a whole for food and beverage in Charleston.
You talk about Charleston. Talk to me about you growing up here.
I moved here when I was 5. I have lived here for 25 years. I'm 35. So I came up in kitchens in Charleston. I worked for Chef Frank Lee for 5 years, Chef Folklore a long time ago. And I was really incredibly lucky to grow up here.
Yeah.
It's all I knew, especially in the kitchens. So I didn't know how lucky that I was until I moved away to have worked for the great people that I did work for. So it was really a great place to come up in general, but especially in the kitchen, because there's so much talent and there's so many good people. Like I said, it's a community of good chefs that have known each other for a long time. So I was really lucky in that regard.
And you talk about moving away. You obviously traveled the world working in Europe.
I backpacked Europe for 3 months when I was 24, and I knocked on a lot of back doors and kind of went in and worked for free for a day or two here and there. I was trying to stay over there for a while, but I was not responsible enough to do that at the time. So that's a good thing that didn't happen, because it probably would have ended tragically. But I came back to Charleston, worked in Charleston for a while, went to Miami. I was in Miami for a year working at a place called Yardbird. That was a great experience, great people. And then I was in New Orleans for 3 years, worked at Cochon for the most of my time there.
Sure.
Also got sober there, so it's, if you can get sober in New Orleans, it's not about the place, it's about the person, is what I like to tell people, because a lot of people think it's a geographic location that causes them the problems instead of themselves. But New Orleans was really great, really a lot of amazing people there, and kind of wanted to come back here because I've been missing home. So I think I've been back a little over 3 years now.
Wow. So tell me, as we sit here right now, what's next for you?
Growing the business, growing the team, moving people up within the ranks, helping other people realize their dreams and goals, and really passing it on, passing the knowledge on. Was something I really picked up from Chef Frank Lee, and passing the torch and bringing the next generation of people up. Like, one of the most rewarding things for me, I've been cooking for a while, but not, a very long time, is to hear younger kids who I worked with in the past say, I thought you hated me, you're always busting my ass.
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love. And they're like, thank you so much for doing that. I really learned that, you really taught me a lot doing that. So that's one of the most rewarding things I get out of doing this, is passing it on to the next group of people, and who keep it running,
Describe to me the following one word: fishing.
Fishing. One word? Never. I haven't gone fishing in a really long time, but I really enjoy to.
Yeah.
Maybe I should make that a priority. But yeah, never would be the one word right now.
Reading in one word.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm always reading. Reading a great book on recovery by Russell Brand, which really kind of takes the 12 steps and demystifies them, and it's hilarious.
Right.
And then I read a lot of history, a lot of military history, so pretty much every night before I go to bed, that helps calm me out. So.
Well, describe to me the beach in one word?
The beach? Probably never as well. As you can see how pale I am. The beach and the fishing were they went together.
Right.
So, no, I love our beaches here. I love Sullivan's. I spent a lot of time on Sullivan's as a teenager. It's interesting to see it grow, but I still like that it's kind of got the sleepy beach town vibe. It's a special place for me.
Yeah. Your favorite dish here?
Right now, my favorite dish here is probably the bucatini pasta with shrimp. We just got a pasta extruder, so we're playing with that. It's a lot of fun. It's aglio e olio. It's just garlic and oil. My sous chef Michael Holler came up with that dish. It's delightful, and it kind of triggers a memory of my dad he wasn't much of a cook, but he would always cook spaghetti with shrimp and extra virgin olive oil. So and I didn't even think about it until I took a bite of the dish, and it really kind of took me back.
Wow.
So.
Where did your love for cooking come from?
I started washing dishes when I was 17 at a place called Atlanticville on Sullivan's, and it's not this cool story about how I was like hanging out with grandma, which I feel like kind of sometimes gets blown up a lot and a little out of proportion, but I guess it sells better than washing dishes. But I love the buzz of the restaurant. I was super lucky to work for really amazing, talented people, and I just loved the culture and the esprit de corps, and I got into the job. I like working with my hands. I knew I didn't want to be behind a desk, and I just kind of took it from there and went to Johnson & Wales. And I just love the history behind food. It tells a story. It tells a story about people. It's one of the few things that everyone in the world has in common. It's a human connection. It's an emotional connection. I like the idea that you can get better at your craft every day. I also like the idea that I can do this for the rest of my life and still not know everything. So I just really enjoy learning, reading. So that's really fun for me. I don't have a huge Italian background, but since my time here, I'm definitely falling deeper in love with Italian food, and there's just so much to learn and absorb, and the stories behind it are one of the best parts for me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, Chef Elliot Cusher, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Yes.